Die Ukraine und die Verteidigung werden voraussichtlich noch in dieser Woche den Gipfel in Brüssel bestimmen. Die EU-Staats- und Regierungschefs suchen nach Möglichkeiten, Kiew angesichts der Unsicherheit über die zukünftige US-Unterstützung unter Donald Trump zu unterstützen. Beim letzten Sondergipfel des Europäischen Rates verweigerte Ungarn der Ukraine seine Unterstützung. Italien und Spanien erklärten am Montag, 17. März, sie seien nicht bereit, den Vorschlag der EU zu unterstützen, der Ukraine in diesem Jahr bis zu 40 Milliarden Euro Militärhilfe zuzusagen, wobei jedes Land entsprechend seiner Wirtschaftsleistung beitragen soll.
Sure, this week for the European Council, obviously Ukraine is a big topic and it relates all the other topics that actually will be on the agenda. So the big question is what is the EU's plan in a way to put Ukraine in a strong position for potential negotiations with all these unpredictabilities and all the geopolitical shifts thanks to Trump's comeback. Fill all the gap that we may have if Trump pulls back, and then if Zelensky. What we're kind of seeing is, coalition of willing within the European Union. We see some member states that don't mind going to be in the minority. This is so far Hungary, but we may see that now Slovakia joins Hungary. So this is a split of the positions that we already knew existed in the EU's common and foreign security policy. This is why it has not developed, and this is why EU could not develop as a security union until now. But right now, this is a really, vital question for the survival of the union. So now the split of opinions really, really matters.
Madam is ready. Good to see you. Did you receive my letter? Of course. Very constructive.
So we already saw that Kaja Kallas has proposed to put together the fund for up to 40 billion to step up the support for Ukraine, military support mainly. But we don't have much details how this fund would be, put together. What we already know, this is Hungary's statement that Hungary would not want, Orban would not want to put any money into that fund. So we know that one member state is already opposing to, make this fund at the union level. But what we can see is that, member states could voluntarily put their contributions to that fund.
I hope that we reach a political agreement on the support for Ukraine.
Unless you will not have war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate.
Well, that's a very good wish of the European Union to be independent when it comes to defense and security. Of course, there is their potential, but this is a sector where you cannot really develop it overnight, over a time of weeks. It's a big thing, but this is something that Ukraine would not. This is a big loss, and strategically, it's a very big loss. Of course, EU is now waking up and wants to develop its own, wants to buy European, but we have to be frank here. The most efficiency still comes from the US, and it will take years for the EU to build up comparable efficiently in terms of efficiency and in terms of capabilities and the scale that could compare to the US military equipment today. So I see that coming, independence in medium to long term, but we can say that you can be fully independent in the short term, unfortunately. And of course, trade war is something that is also happening at the same time when all these security crises in Europe, and it's very important for Brussels to keep, good relations with the Trump administration. But this is something, of course, that you cannot swallow, right? This is very unfair practices to impose all the tariffs to the EU. Here again, we don't start from scratch because Brussels already had experience from the previous trade wars under the previous Trump administration. So here we see that the European Commission has come quite prepared. They were prepared. So the response of the replicating this fairly, the corresponding tariffs has come rather swiftly. It just has to be very much balanced so that these tariffs and the trade wars doesn't affect that much the EU consumers. But, no, yeah, it's not